moist, rich chocolate cake, creamy peanut butter frosting, and lots of peanut butter cups are what make this cake so amazing. Hi, I'm Lindsay from Life, Love, and Sugar, and today I'm going to show you how to take a simple chocolate cake and make it amazing with plenty of peanut butter, a chocolate drip, and a beautiful finish. First thing you're going to do is combine your dry ingredients. We've got our sugar, flour, this is all purpose, cocoa powder, baking soda and baking powder, and some salt. Just whisk all your dry ingredients together. All right, we're going to set those aside, and then we're going to combine our wet ingredients. All right, we've got our milk, vegetable oil, vanilla extract, and eggs. Combine that. And then we're going to add our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients and combine those. One of the things I really love about this cake is that you don't even need to use a mixer if you don't want to. Just use your bowls and a whisk, and that's all you need. Now we're going to add our hot water. The hot water actually helps the chocolate bloom. It helps the cocoa bloom so that you get a nice intense chocolate flavor. You're going to want to be a little gentle at first when you're mixing it together because it will start to get pretty thin and you don't want it to splash everywhere. This is a very thin cake batter, so don't be alarmed. And that's all it takes to put this cake batter together. So now we're going to set this aside and get our cake pans ready. So I already have my cake pan sprayed with a nonstick spray. You're also going to put parchment circles in the bottom to help your cake not stick. I like to make sure my cake pans have the same amount of batter in each one. It'll help them bake more evenly. One won't need to bake longer than others, and you'll get even layers in your cake. Once your cake batter is all in your cake pans, it's time to pop them in the oven for about 22 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees. All right, the next thing we want to do is make our peanut butter frosting. We're going to start with our butter. Pop that into your mixer bowl. And we're going to add our peanut butter. Okay, we're going to pop this on our mixer and mix it together until it's nice and combined. And now that things are nicely combined, we're going to go ahead and add about half of our powdered sugar. All right, now that we've got about half of our powdered sugar added, we want to add a little bit of liquid so that things don't start to get too thick. So I'm going to use some water. I would start with about 2 or 3 tablespoons, and then we can add more at the end just to make sure we've got the right consistency. All right, let's continue adding our powdered sugar. You don't have to be real precise with how much powdered sugar you're adding right now. As long as you're adding about half in the beginning, then you're liquid, and then the other half, you're pretty good. Once your frosting looks like it's at a pretty good consistency, you're going to go ahead and take it off of the mixer. And then I'm just going to kind of give it another stir with my spatula and make sure I'm happy with it, and then I can always add some more liquid if I need to. The way that I like to test the consistency of my frosting is just I tap the frosting just to kind of see how much sticks to my finger. I want sort of about half a finger's coverage. A full finger coverage is a little too much. Okay, that looks about right. We're ready to go. The first thing you're going to want to do is level your cakes. I like to use a sharp serrated knife for this part. And we're just going to trim the top off. Now, if you're wondering how to do a nice level cake, I actually have a tutorial on the blog that shows you several different methods. There are several different ways you can do it so that you get a nice level cake without too much effort. You're going to make sure you get it nice and level. Level layers every step of the way is going to make sure not only that your cake looks nice when you slice into it, but also that things aren't kind of wonky and sliding all over the place. It's time to build our cake. We're going to start with our frosting. I like to use about a cup of frosting between the layers. Add this, and then smooth it out with our offset spatula. This is where the consistency of the frosting starts to come into play, because if it's too thick, it's not going to stick to your cake well. If If it's too thin, you could end up with a frosting that squeezes out from between your cake layers once it's all built. So you want to have a nice consistency. And then we're going to add some peanut butter cups. And we're going to press these down into the frosting a little bit. So now you're just going to want to add a tiny thin little layer of frosting over the peanut butter cups just so that you can put your next cake on top and it sticks well. And now I'll add our next cake layer. Now we're going to add another cup of frosting and some more of our peanut butter cups. And another thin layer of frosting. Now we'll add our final layer of cake on top. Okay, now we're going to frost our cake. And I actually have a fantastic tutorial on YouTube, a wonderful video of how to actually frost your cake. But if you want all the details on how to frost a perfect cake, check out that video. I'm going to make sure you're pushing all the way to the outsides of the cake. Now to apply the frosting to the sides of the cake, I'm actually going to use the Wilton 789 tip. It makes it really easy to apply frosting to the side of your cake. This last part, you're going to want to make sure you have some extra frosting sticking up above the edge of the cake to help with getting nice corners later. All right, now to smooth the sides, we're going to use a nice little icing comb and just smooth the frosting. All right, so now we're going to add a little bit of a design in the side of the cake. You want to hold your spatula up against the side of the cake and just kind of keep it as steady as you can and turn the cake on your turntable and it'll add a line to the cake. Once we're finished with that one, we'll move up to the next row and continue all the way up the side of the cake. I'm going to apply it light to medium pressure. You don't need to press too hard. To make your chocolate ganache, you want your chocolate chips and your heavy whipping cream. This should be nice and hot. You want to pour this over your chocolate chips. After it sits for a few minutes, it should be ready to go. You should be able to whisk it and get a nice smooth chocolate ganache. So to make sure you have your ganache at the right temperature and consistency, you can actually take a spoon and kind of drizzle some down the side of your bowl and see how quickly it drizzles down. As you do more drip cakes, you'll kind of get used to the consistency that you want. And now it's time to add swirls to the top of our cake. First thing I'm going to do is actually use a toothpick to mark the spots where I want my swirls. And now we've got our finished chocolate peanut butter layer cake. It is insanely moist, full of flavor and peanut butter cups, and I just know you're gonna love it. For the full recipe, head over to lifeloveandsugar.com.